Negotiations. Well, throughout the sales process, these negotiations consist of many kind of mini closing opportunities and challenges. My suggestion is to take negotiation classes early and often. And if you're not at the level where you have a closing ratio, and of course you need to know what your ratios are, that'll produce results needed to meet your financial goals, then work to improve it. Not by just practice, but what I call perfect practice. Don't be goofing around when you're practicing. Take that valuable time and practice perfectly like you're in front of a customer. All right? So let's look at a few of the decisions that are going to have to be negotiated. Well, obviously, you got to negotiate the contract, and there's a lot of items within that. And then there's some other things you're going to need to know, like what times can I show the property? If I get an offer, how do you want me to present it and how quickly? Can I get them to you quickly? Will you be able to respond quickly? And what about the all-important like price? So you better be prepared when you go on that listing appointment, like we talked about earlier, and that is to have a comparative market analysis prepared. And what about if the house doesn't sell? Of course, the National Association of Realtors says that if the house is on the market for 10 days and you have no showings and it's overpriced, or if it's had 10 showings and no offers, it's probably overpriced. And just relate that to the customer. So what that's going to do is set up price reduction conversations, which you're going to have to negotiate. Commissions. Well, you need to have a plan because more than likely the commission rates will be discussed at that meeting. So be ready to handle those objections. Inspections. Well, how inspection is going to be handled. Everybody thinks their property is the nicest house on the block that doesn't need any work, but I haven't come across a perfect house yet. Even a brand new one has some issues, right? My son's house they got electrical problems. It's brand new, they had it built. So what about a house that's 40, 50 years old? We have a lot of those in our market. You're going to have to negotiate things like closing dates. What's going to be a great closing date for the seller? Because maybe that's not going to match up with any kind of an offer that comes over. Of course, this is not an all-inclusive list. There are still some mini closings that will be a part of the approval process. Now, we talked earlier about the power of the pause. We will learn how this works in the next segment.